What's going on, everyone? Welcome to a brand new video, Caffeine Conversations with Coach Scott McLeod. And for these caffeine conversations, I do want to start getting a little bit creative. I kind of want to just make it, really raw, less editing, really just embody that podcast style that I was hoping for when I first started this series, when I first started Caffeine Conversations with Coach Scott McLeod. Anyways, I really want it to be designed so that you don't have to be watching the video, so that eventually maybe I can push this out to Spotify, to Apple Podcasts, to wherever you get your podcasts. So again, you can just listen, and it might be longer form content. It might just be me ranting into the camera or into the microphone if you're not actually going to be watching it. But I think that there is great value in the longer form content, just being able to sit down and get your thoughts out. These days, we're kind of programmed to the fast, short form content where we just want to keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and see something that jumps off the page, that piques our interest, that grabs our attention, and then stop for, less than 7 total seconds and scroll to the next one and then to the next one and to the next one. You know what I'm talking about. We're always just never satisfied, continuously scrolling through all of this really short form content. And I personally love the longer form content. I love listening to podcasts. I did also grow up watching YouTube, and I still do watch YouTube, but when it comes especially to the fitness industry, I always just went to YouTube to find the content that I was looking for and the things that I was interested in. And with those videos, it was longer form, behind the scenes, getting to know someone, following that person's life, hearing their opinion on the matter, again, in a longer form content. So I was drawn to that, and that's why I initially started a YouTube channel, because that's the kind of content that I was consuming. And I thought, okay, why not, try to make some of this content that I'm consuming because I'm interested in it and I like it. And maybe someone like you, would like the content that I'm putting out, and you'd start messing with me. So that was my mindset behind it, and I didn't really like this whole new wave of let's scroll through this short form content and just try to get a quick dopamine rush, that quick hit, that quick fix, and then continuously scroll on to the next one and the next one and the next one and so on. But I really want to turn this Caffeine Conversation show, if you want to call it that, into more of the longer form content, the raw, just off the cuff, not always necessarily planned out. Yes, I could have some planned out episodes, and I do love doing that as well and answering your specific questions. But sometimes I just want to prop the camera up, get down next to the microphone here, and just kind of speak about how I'm feeling. And maybe just kind of treat it like me sharing my mindset about certain things, me sharing some lessons that I'm learning, me sharing my experiences, me just kind of bullshit into the camera, just kind of letting you all know how I'm feeling, what's going on, how I'm doing, just checking in, that kind of stuff. Almost making it like a mindset type thing, or like a philosophical type thing. I do enjoy deep thought. And as weird as this sounds, I kind of spend a lot of time in my own thoughts, thinking pretty deeply and profoundly about certain concepts and topics. And in my head, I feel as though I have some really good ideas, some really deep thoughts that I want to share. And I think that in doing so, I could, find an audience of like-minded people, or someone that can connect to that thought and maybe add thoughts of their own to that thought, so that we can kind of be sharing this philosophical idea and starting a conversation about it. I don't know, does that even make sense? But I have these thoughts trapped in my mind, and I just want to get them out. And I think having some sort of longer form type content like this would enable me to do that. and not always striving for that quick dopamine rush, grab someone's attention for the first 7 seconds, otherwise you're going to lose everyone. I just think it's more organic if I do what I want to do and I be who I want to be and I put out the content that I want to put out. Sure, people, it looks as though certain people are blowing up overnight and, rushing to all of this artificial success, I guess you can call it, because, they're really just following a trend and they're being, they're just following the trend. They're not being the trendsetter. They're not trailblazing their own path. They're not pioneering their own original ideas. They're just literally using saved audio that has been trending lately to create a 7-second or less clip to grab someone's attention and hopefully use that to propel them further, if that makes any sense. It makes sense to me. That's what people are doing, and it looks as though people are having this overnight success. And honestly, it's just, I just want to start something from the ground up, build it brick by brick, layer by layer, slow and steady, not just try to follow these random nonsense trends, and start something organic. Sit down, have a cup of coffee, kind of treat it like a therapy session. Like I'm talking to my therapist right now, and I'm spitting out these deep, profound ideas that I think that I have in my head. And, if you mess with it, you mess with it. If you don't, you don't. But that's the kind of content that I want to put out, that, organic, being true to who I am, how I think, what I do. And that's what I'm going to try to start doing a little more often with these Caffeine Conversation episodes. I can't put and I can't promise like a specific time frame of 1 a week, 2 a week, 2 a month, that kind of thing. I'm just envisioning that I can sit down with like a morning coffee when I'm writing my thoughts down. I write a lot of notes first thing in the morning about how I'm feeling, how things are going, what I'm thinking, some ideas that I have. And maybe I can kind of share those ideas in this episode. And you can all listen along. You don't necessarily have to be watching. And you can get on with your day, your morning routine, your cardio routine, whatever it is you're doing. Maybe you're going on a long car ride or you're sitting on a plane and you just want to listen to this. So maybe I'll start sharing those types of thoughts in a video like this, pushing that out to the YouTube channel to start, eventually maybe pushing it out to wherever you get your podcasts as well. And just kind of rolling with that. That's just how I've been feeling, and something that I want to do. And who knows, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I just, have these weird thoughts and I'm a weird person, and you don't mess with it. You don't vibe with it. You don't relate to it. That's fine. But I really think that some of these deep, profound thoughts and these abstract thoughts, they're very philosophical in nature. I like to really dig into the weeds of things in my brain. And if I can try to voice that and share that with all of you and share my experience with what I'm thinking and how I got to that level of thought, maybe it'll encourage you to leave a comment down below to tell me what you think. Maybe you can give me some advice. I'm not claiming to be the all-knowing, the omnipotent, or, the know-it-all type person. Maybe you could teach me something. Maybe you can leave your thought. Someone else reads your thought. It influences that person. And we kind of just build this organic community of absolute fucking beasts. And, that's really what I want to do. So I kind of want to just keep it raw, sit down again like I'm talking to my therapist or just chatting with my homies, and not chopping it up to be so perfect, to be so visually appealing, and to grab someone's attention within the first 5 to 7 seconds or whatever, everyone's attention spans have shortened to these days, and just blast out some of this long form content off the cuff. And back to that point I was saying about Who knows, maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm weird, maybe you don't vibe with this, maybe my thoughts to you don't seem that profound, and maybe this goes nowhere, but you don't know if you don't try. So it kind of like, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. It kind of like annoys me or frustrates me, or just, yeah, annoys or frustrates, I guess. I don't know. I'll be sitting in the car, I'll be thinking, I'll be alone in my thoughts, and I'm thinking like, wow, I really want to make this content. I don't always necessarily know how to voice it. Sometimes I have it written down. Maybe I can bring my notes with me. Sometimes I just want to keep it raw and try to express it, try to voice it, and go through that process here live on camera or on audio if you're just listening. And, maybe it goes somewhere, maybe it doesn't. But the point I'm trying to make is I think so much about it, and I'll never really know if I don't try. So here's me trying. I guess we can call this episode 1 of that new style, but I'm really keeping it as part of the Caffeine Conversations series. So not necessarily episode 1, but I guess a nice intermission from some of the other Caffeine Conversation topics where it's just point and shoot, or sit down with the microphone for some of you and the camera plus microphone for others of you watching on YouTube. And we're just going to go with it. We're going to build that foundation, that layer, brick by brick, slow and steady. We're not looking for the quick fix. We're just going to be me. We're going to be raw. We're going to keep it real. If you mess with me, I really appreciate you. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. All right. See ya.